Alright, welcome back once again to the Zim's video journal. This is episode 51. Thanks for joining. And this is my journal where I talk about everything that's been going on in my musical and artistic world and some other things, but I try to keep it focused on music and art, mostly music these days. So we'll get started. Episode 51, here we go. The first thing I usually start with is what's going down with Word on the Street, the podcast that I host and produce and publish and all that stuff. And we had Purr Gato on last week's Word on the Street. It was awesome to talk to those guys. And as I mentioned, if you did listen to the podcast on iTunes or wherever you might have listened to it, at the beginning I did mention that it was one of those same cases where we talked for an hour, doing the podcast, and then we ended up talking for another 2 hours after I hit stop recording. And the conversation we had after I hit stop was like, in all reality, in all intensive purposes, it's the conversation I'm trying to get to with the podcast. It's like this realness, this authenticness that happens. I mean, of course, things get said that, you don't want everybody to know and hear in those times because it's not being recorded and it's kind of sacred, which makes sense. However, there are still ways, I believe, of talking about things that are on your mind and issues without pointing fingers or doing anything like that. And I feel like I've been talking a lot. This is definitely a celebration. I want to make sure it's a celebration. And I believe I've said this before on these video journals and various places, where what I'm trying to do is celebrating what's going on, but it's also very much a conversation about how can we make it better. There's always room for improvement for everything. And right now, it just feels like there's a lot of people saying the same things, at least in the circles that I run, about what's going on. And the biggest thing is, how do we get people out and how do we support live independent music and make it so that we can do it and feel good about it, and and we leave the night with some gas money and a little bit of pocket money from the show, because there's money being spread around, so might as well just figure out how we can make it so the bands can kind of get some of that too. So anyways, that's just a part of their conversation. But the Purr Gato one was excellent, really great conversation. I listened to it a few times actually back when I downloaded myself and just listened to him, and I enjoyed it. It was good. Oops, sorry, I'm yawning. It's late for me. So I'll just leave it at that. Please go check out the podcast, and please subscribe to it and rate it and review it on the iTunes, because that's one of, from what I understand, from what I hear everybody else say about podcasts, that's one of the best ways to spread the word and get more listeners into it. And I want to grow this thing, so your support would be excellent. It doesn't cost you anything. All you got to do is go to iTunes, open it up, search for Word on the Street, two little robots with WOTS underneath that. Those robots right there, those are the ones. It's a blue background with yellow robots, and then with WOTS underneath of it. You see that? The last time I checked, you type in Word on the Street in the search bar when you're on the iPod screen, and it's the first one that comes up. So shouldn't be too hard to find. Do that for me. Go there, just give it a like, give it a not a like, but a rating and a review. That'd be excellent. And subscribe to it would be even more excellent. So do that for me. That'd be awesome. Thanks. Just rolling along. This may be the last time you see this video journal in this format, and I feel like I've got good momentum with doing them, and it's very much a process for me. However, I'm big right now. This thing in my mind of putting out the highest quality content I can is really important to me these days. I've just been hearing it I listen to other blogs and things, and I'm ready to do something more with all this that I'm doing. However, to get somebody interested in it, I know at times it's been it's very DIY style, and it shows sometimes with how just low budget, low kind of quality it can be at times. And I'm not even sure. I think this one even may be crooked. It's kind of bugging me, so I'm going to straighten it as we're talking. But things like that, making sure it's all good. But my sister bless her, she decided to help me get internet in my house. As you've heard before, I don't have internet, so she's helping me get it, help me pay for it, and I'm going to start recording these video journals directly to the computer, and then doing a little, making them look a little prettier, I guess, putting some, you know, text around them, you know, links and things like that, and just putting a little more time into the process, because it's like right now I record them on my phone, and that was the whole idea, is just to do them fast, do them quick, get them up, and just do it. But now that I've got this momentum for it, and I'm trying to produce better quality content, I'm going to put a little more time into them and see how it goes. And I just, you know, I don't want it to eat up, I don't want these video journals to eat up time that I could be spending on just other things that I need to work on, the recordings and just booking shows and all that stuff. And when I get internet in my house, I'm hoping, my hope is that it will manifest, like the manifestation of that will result in me finding some way of making it make money for me in some way, either finding jobs around and that, but also finding more gigs, being more on top of my gig getting process, just being more on top of the social networking aspect of things. I mean, I'm my phone and I get internet at work, so it's like I'm pretty on top of it, but this will just give me more dedicated time to focus. I can sit here in the closet studio and work on it and not be rushing and not being on the go with it all. I can be focused with it, so that hopefully be helpful to get more things going with the Zim and Arock and the WOTS podcast. But so that's been really big. Couple things to mention. I'm just gonna plug our shows coming up. May 9th, we're gonna be in Georgetown. Show starts at 6 o'clock, I believe. It's at the Georgetown Music Store. There's 5 acts. I'll put the link to the event page in the description of this video. And then we're on last, the Zim and Arock. We're playing all acoustic. We just had a practice today. It's gonna be great. Hope you'll come out. The event page will be there. Join it. Come out to the show. It's going to be great. It's part of the art walk that happens in Georgetown. So hopefully there'll be people out hearing what's going on and stuff. So check that out. Also, we're going to be in Oregon on June 6th. We're going to be at the Monolith Music Festival. So if you're in Oregon, come on through. Make it happen. I think it's around Portland area. They still, as far as I know, last time I checked, they still haven't had a location, a specified location, but I guess it's going on. So it's a little getting close to the date, and but I'm just gonna let it roll and just be planning on heading down to Portland area on June 6th. And then the last thing we have scheduled so far is June 13th. I just did the event page for it, so that'll be in the description of this video as well. The event pages for all these shows will be in the description of this video. So it's with Dirty Dirty and Ever So Android, two of my favorite bands, two bands that have also been on the WOTS podcast. And the Zim and Arock will be headlining. Ever So Android will be in the middle, and Dirty Dirty will open. Amazing show in Olympia, the 4th Ave in Olympia. So come on down. You know, if you're in Seattle, let's go. Let's caravan down. If you're in anywhere else, get on down there, because it's going to be rad. It's going to be a pretty awesome show, and I'm really stoked for everything coming up. I might have mentioned in my last video journal, but I've tweaked our set a little bit more in terms of really trying to push the dance aspect of it. I'm trying to push the seamless aspect of it. So I'm really excited to actually start playing this new idea of how the sets will be played. So I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it. So if you come on out, you can let me know. I guess I'm just gonna leave it at that. Shorter one, hopefully today. But yeah, just thanks for watching. Subscribe to this video. And subscribe to the iTunes of the podcast, and do all that stuff. It'd be great. That's a great way to support what the Zim and Arock are doing, what we're on the streets doing. And we'll catch you next time. So this is the Zim. We're in the closet studio. This is Zim's Video Journal, episode 51. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.